Hey everyone! If you're diving into Umamusume Pretty Derby and wondering which characters are really worth your time and roles, you're in the right place. We all know every girl in the game has her own charm and unique skills, but let's be honest, some of them just straight up steal the spotlight. So whether you're a new trainer or a seasoned pro looking to optimize your team, we're here to break down the best of the best. Think of this as your personal cheat sheet for scouting the cream of the crop. We'll chat about who shines the brightest, who brings that extra edge to your races, and who you definitely want to keep an eye on when you're re-rolling. Ready to find your new favorite superstar? Let's jump right in and get you set up for some epic wins. I'm quickly moving on to the video, and I'm ranking characters in Umamusume Pretty Derby. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Haru Urara, Majiro Ryan, Winning Ticket, and Agnes Tachyon. Alright, let's dive into the not-so-glorious but still kinda charming side of Umamusume Pretty Derby, the characters who hang out down in the D tier. Think of these gals like the underdogs of the racetrack. They have their moments, but mostly they'll keep you on your toes trying to figure out where they actually shine. First up, we have Haru Urara, the queen of dirt tracks and sprint races. If you love a quick burst of speed on the dirt, she's your girl. Her late attack strategy, pretty slick. But don't get too excited if you're planning to race on turf or tackle anything beyond a short sprint, because she seriously struggles there. Medium and long races, nah, she's basically useless there, so don't expect any miracles in those events. Then there's Majiro Ryan, who is basically turf's best friend. She thrives in medium-length races and really knows how to pace herself, especially with late surges that can catch opponents off guard. However, her stamina is kinda low for a character that's supposed to handle long distance, which is a bummer. Plus, dirt tracks and sprint races are not her playground at all. So if you're dirt or dash focused, maybe look elsewhere. Winning Ticket is another turf specialist who loves those medium distance races. Her late surger strategy is on point, which can make for some exciting finishes. But if the track turns to dirt or you're trying to run short races, she's not your best bet. Basically, she's that friend who's amazing at certain things but absolutely disappears when the spotlight moves somewhere else. Last but not least, Agnes Tachyon, a turf wizard with a bunch of strategies to play around with. She handles medium-length races like a pro and gives you flexibility with how you want to approach the race. Unfortunately, dirt tracks are her kryptonite, and sprinter mile races don't really suit her style. So, if you're looking to mix it up, she might not be the wild card you're hoping for. So yeah, D tier may sound like the bottom of the barrel, but with the right tracks and strategies, these characters can surprise you. Just don't expect them to win every race. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Nice Nature, Sakura Bakushin-o, Matakana Fukukataru, King Halo, and Super Creek. Alright, let's talk about the C tier crew in Umamusume Pretty Derby. The solid middle-of-the-pack characters who have their perks, but also some pretty obvious quirks. They're kinda like that reliable friend who shows up to the party, but maybe won't be the life of it every time. Starting off with Nice Nature, she's a real turf enthusiast and shines on medium and long-distance races. Plus, she's got a handful of strategy options, so you can mix things up depending on the race. The catch? Dirt tracks and sprint races just aren't her thing. So if the course isn't grassy and the race isn't a marathon or half marathon, she might leave you hanging. Then there's Sakura Bakushin-o, the sprint specialist who loves turf but struggles big time with stamina. She's lightning fast in short bursts on turf tracks, making her a perfect pick for sprint races. However, her stamina is so low that medium and long races are basically a no-go, and dirt tracks? Forget about it. She's like a sprinter who's all about that explosive speed but crashes hard if the race drags on. Matakana Fukukataru is another turf lover who really flexes her muscles in medium and long distance races with multiple strategy options to keep things interesting. Sprint races? Not so much. And dirt tracks? Yeah, she's got the same turf-only vibe. If you want a consistent runner on turf who can go the distance, she's worth considering. King Halo is the all-rounder who's excellent on turf and performs well in most races except the really long ones. He's great with late and pace strategies, so if you like to play smart and time your moves right, he's a solid choice. Dirt tracks though? Nope, that's a hard no. And long distance races don't really suit him either, so pick your battles carefully. Finally, we have Super Creek, a turf runner who's pretty good at long distance races and has some nice strategy flexibility. The downside? Her base speed and power are on the low side, making her less competitive in short races where you need that quick burst. If you're all about endurance and turf, she can be your steady soldier, but don't expect fireworks in a sprint. So yeah, the C-tier gang might not always steal the show, but with the right race and strategy, they can definitely hold their own on the turf and longer distances. Just don't ask them to sprint on dirt, because that's a recipe for disaster. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Tokai Teo, BIWA Scarlet, Air Groove, Grass Wonder, Gold Ship, and Vodka. Alright, now we're stepping up into the B-tier zone of Umamusume Pretty Derby, where things start to get interesting. These girls have a lot going for them, but also a few quirks that keep them from stealing the absolute spotlight. They're like those solid players on your team who can really make a difference when used right. Let's kick off with BIWA HAYAHIDE. She's a turf specialist who really shines in longer races and knows how to chase the pace like a pro. The problem? Dirt tracks aren't her thing, and her unique skill, while cool on paper, doesn't really mesh well with her overall style. So, if you're eyeing turf marathons, she's a pretty solid pick, but don't expect magic on dirt. Tokai Teo is the all-arounder you want if you're looking for good stats across the board. She's very strong on turf and particularly excels in medium-distance races. Dirt tracks and short sprints, however, are her weaknesses, especially sprints where she struggles quite a bit. So she's your classic jack-of-all-trades, master of turf character. Next up, BIWA Scarlet, another turf lover who's great in medium-distance races. She's especially good at front-running and pace strategies, which can really put pressure on opponents. Her dirt race performance is disappointing, and her base stats are a bit on the low side, but with the right training and race selection, she can be a serious contender. Air Groove brings solid base stats across the board and does well on turf, especially in medium-length races. Sprint and long races aren't really her jam, and dirt tracks are pretty much a no-go. But if you want a dependable runner who won't flop in most medium turf races, she fits the bill. Grass Wonder is a bit of a wild card. She's good at mile-length races and excellent on turf, plus she offers several strategy options to keep things fresh. That said, her low stamina and gut stats, combined with some contradictory aptitudes, make her a bit unpredictable. Use her carefully, and she can surprise you. Gold Ship is a fan favorite with very good turf skills and excels at long-distance races. She's got multiple strategies in her playbook, but shorter races and dirt tracks are a no-no. Also, training her is notoriously difficult, so if you're up for a challenge, she could be rewarding, but don't expect it to be easy. Last but not least, Vodka is fantastic for medium-length races and shines with pace and late strategies. Dirt tracks? Nope, not her turf. And sprints or long races don't suit her at all. She's got plenty of strategy options though, so if you focus on what she's good at, she can be a real asset to your lineup. So B tier might not be the absolute cream of the crop, but these characters bring some serious strengths, especially on turf and mid to long distances. Just remember to pick your races wisely and play to their strengths. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right: Silent Suzuka, El Condor Pasa, Majiro McQueen, Special Week, TM Opera O, Mayano Top Gun, and Mihono Bourbon. Alright, buckle up because now we're cruising into A-tier territory in Umamusume Pretty Derby, the realm where things get seriously competitive, but you still gotta know their quirks if you want to win consistently. These girls are top-notch but not flawless, and that's what makes them so interesting to race with. Let's start with Silent Suzuka. If speed is your jam, she's your go-to girl. Perfect for medium-length races and absolutely deadly with the front chaser strategy, she can blitz through the pack like a pro. The one catch? Dirt tracks are her nightmare, so if you see a muddy course, better give her a break. Next up, El Condor Pasa, one of the rare ones who actually performs well on both turf and dirt tracks, which makes him pretty versatile. He's great at mile and medium-length races and comes packed with several strategy options. Just keep in mind his base stamina is a bit low and sprint races aren't really his scene. Majiro McQueen is basically the queen of stamina and guts, making her the meta pick for those long races where endurance rules. She's got a couple of strong strategy options to switch things up, but don't expect her to win short races. Her base speed and power are on the lower side, so sprinting is definitely not her thing. Special Week is another turf lover who's amazing for long races and brings solid all-around stats to the table. She's got several strategies up her sleeve, making her versatile in races that require some tactical thinking. That said, sprints and dirt tracks don't suit her at all, so keep her on grassy, longer courses. TM Opera O is a real endurance powerhouse with excellent base stamina and guts. Great for turf and long races, she also offers multiple strategies to play with. But sprint races and dirt tracks are off-limits, so she fits best in those longer, slower-paced turf battles. Mayano Top Gun is good on turf and excels in longer races with a great grasp of all strategies, which makes him a strong, flexible choice. However, his base speed and power are quite low, and he's absolutely terrible at short races, so don't expect fireworks in a sprint. Last but not least, Mihono Bourbon is a solid turf runner best at medium distances. She's got a good base but suffers from poor stamina and pretty limited strategy options, so she's a bit of a straightforward racer. If you want a dependable medium-distance turf runner without too much fuss, she's your girl. So yeah, the A-tier characters are where your team starts to get really strong. Just make sure to know their sweet spots and avoid forcing them into races or tracks that don't suit them, or you might be in for a rough day. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Oguri Cap, Maruzensky, Taiki Shuttle, Symboli Rudolph, and Rice Shower. Alright, now we're stepping into the elite league of Umamusume Pretty Derby, S tier where the cream of the crop lives. These girls are absolute beasts on the track, with skills and stats that can seriously carry your team. But hey, even legends have their weak spots, so let's break down what makes them shine and stumble. First up, Oguri Cap. She's one of the rare ones who can dominate both turf and dirt tracks, which already puts her in a special category. She's amazing at medium-distance races and has several solid strategies to keep your opponents guessing. That said, sprint races aren't her thing, and her base stamina is surprisingly low, so don't expect her to last forever. Then there's Maruzensky, a turf specialist who can handle all distances with ease. She's known for a strong early lead thanks to her front strategy skills, which can throw off even the toughest rivals. However, her stamina is pretty low, making long races a bit tricky, so she's best used where speed and positioning count early on. Taiki Shuttle is another versatile star who excels on both turf and dirt. Like Oguri Cap, she's fantastic in medium-distance races and really shines as a pace chaser, skillfully stalking the pack before making her move. She's not built for short sprints, and her base stamina is on the low side, so timing is everything with her. Symboli Rudolph brings balanced, all-around stats, and is excellent on turf, especially in medium and long races. She has a bunch of strategy options that let you adapt to different race scenarios. Just don't bother with short races or dirt tracks, those are her Achilles heels. Last but definitely not least, Rice Shower is the stamina queen. With amazing base stamina and guts, she's meta for long and medium races on turf, and her pace chaser skill makes her a formidable competitor. The catch? Training her is notoriously difficult, and she's pretty weak on dirt tracks. But if you put in the work, she'll reward you with some serious wins. So, S tier is where the big guns play. Just keep an eye on their stamina and race types, and you'll have a powerhouse team ready to crush the competition. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.